Hey folks, welcome back. Check this out. In this video, I'm going to show you 10 really cool gift ideas for the hunter in your family. I don't know if you have traditions like I have traditions, whereas we always gift each other during the hunting season, and if you get a kill, then you get another gift, and it kind of goes on and on like that forever. So if you do the same, and you have that hunter that you want to give a gift to, I'm going to go through 10 items that range in price from, 15, 20 bucks all the way up to a couple $100. But before we get into that, if you're new here, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so that you get notified every time I have a new upload. It would help me and it'll help you, and it's good for everybody. So one of the traditions that we have is when one of my children starts their hunting career and harvests their first deer, I give them a Tops Hog 4.5 knife that I designed as a gift for completing that very memorable task. Do you have any really cool traditions that surround hunting season? If so, put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. Maybe I'll incorporate those into our own traditions. But for now, let's talk about some really cool gifts if you want to show some appreciation to those hunters in your family. So the first really cool item I want to cover is this Hill People Gear version 2 chest rig. Now the first time I seen these, I was wandering around in hills in Washington with a friend of mine, and he wouldn't be caught dead without it. Like, he lives and dies by this pack. He's always got it on. And I thought it was really cool, and he was always getting in it and pulling out exactly what we needed when we needed it. And I thought, man, that thing really holds a lot of kit, pretty comfortable. And then he explained to me how it balances the weight. Like, he puts a little more weight in the front so that when you have your pack on your back, it balances your spine correctly and makes it just a little bit more comfortable when you're humping a load in the hills. I was recently researching it, and a buddy of mine was upgrading his kit, and he sent me this one, which was brand new, but he was getting a different one, a model more suited to him. And he sent me this one, so I thought that I would show you. So while it's new to me, I'm certainly going to use it this season, and I have zero doubt that I'm going to love it. Some of the features: it's got 3 main pockets, one on the front that's got 2 slot pockets and then the main pocket, and it also has dummy cord loops above each of those slot pockets. This is the main pouch. Comes open like a little shelf, so you can kind of do some work here if you have to. I've got a little flashlight and a rangefinder in mine now, but there'll be more gear that goes in as I prep for the season. It's got, I put these patches here just to show you, it's got Velcro all the way through this whole thing with PALS webbing, so you can put different contraptions in there, pistol mags and rangefinders and whatever you happen to want to, or you can just cover it with morale patches and be sexy cool. If you're into that. The third pocket is the concealed carry pouch. I have a Glock 21 45 caliber in mine. I don't have a holster in it, but it has a strip of Velcro here where you can secure a holster if you want to put one in it. This gun is big enough that it doesn't really require a holster to fit really comfortably in here. Another option would be just to leave that zipper right here so you can zip it open and draw from concealed. But I like the idea that I can just grab this corner, rip it open, and you got full access to the pistol. So that, layered with the other pieces of gear that's in here, that's all fine and dandy, but when you put a pack on, it actually comes with 2 straps that hook to your pack straps, and then you can hook them or unhook them from here, so it takes all that weight off of you and puts it on your pack where it's supposed to be. Or if you want to hook it on the outside of a pack, you have these 2 loops here, and you have 2 on the bottom that can hook exactly the same. There's a lot of different modifications you can do with it. Like I said, it's new to me, so I'm going to find a lot more cool stuff that I can do with it. You can find this piece of kit on Amazon. It's about $136.99, $137. Plus shipping, unless you catch it with Amazon Prime or something cool like that. Or you can go to hillpeoplegear.com and they might have a sale or something else going on, and you can probably catch it in other different places too. And if you go to Hill People Gear or check on Amazon, there's also a whole bunch of different versions of it. So I have a large chest, and it fits me pretty good. But if you're smaller, they make smaller ones, narrower ones, less pockets. They make a whole variety of different ones that. So I'm sure that if you're smaller in the upper chest area, that there's probably one that's going to suit you very well. Hill People Gear, this is the version 2 kit bag. Just slight upgrades from the version 1 from what I understand, and it is a bomber piece of gear that any woodsman or mountain man would love to have. So the next piece of gear I want to cover that any woodsman would really enjoy having is the Fuji XP130 point and shoot camera. It's waterproof to 20 meters or 65 feet and shockproof to 5.8 foot drop. So, you know, it can take a little bit of abuse. And when they say waterproof, they mean waterproof. It's got a little push button and a dial that turns, and then it's all sealed up with a rubber gasket. So it's really cool. You can actually go underwater, use all the buttons and functions underwater, and shoot video and pictures. Really cool. But the reason I love it, and the reason most will, is because when I go out to check my game cameras, I can pull that SD card, put it in here, and then go through the pictures. And it has Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so I can Bluetooth this directly to my phone, and if I put a picture in and there's some pictures I want to keep, I can just bounce them directly to my phone and then wipe out the card and put it back in the camera, and I don't have to carry extra cards or worry about losing them. And I won't lose the pictures because they'll already be on my phone. I'll know they're there before anything else happens. Plus I can see what's in the area and when it was there right now. It's got a lot of really cool like filters and features and stuff. You can shoot a lot of dynamic photos and really cool things, and it's turned out to be a really good camera for me. I bought this at Walmart actually for about 175 bucks, and that's about what it sells for on Amazon also. Maybe I paid a little bit more than that. I would recommend that if you do buy one, that you buy the tempered glass screen protector for it. It didn't take long with me wearing it in my pocket and throwing it in my pack for the back screen to get a little hazy. So when I put the glass screen protector on it, it cleared everything back up and it protects it really well. So definitely go with the tempered glass screen protector. It has a 28 to 144 millimeter zoom, which is about a 5 power. That's kind of nice. You can't really get way in there. It doesn't have some stupid intense digital zoom that makes everything all grainy. You just get what you get. But it does have a relatively small optic, so I think you can hold it up to your scope, your spotting scope or something, and if you can line it up just right, you can get a picture through that, which is, you know, better than nothing. And last thing, if you leave the Bluetooth connected to your cell phone, then you can enable geo-tracking. So if you were to see something on a spot, you can pull it out, take a picture, and then you'll have a geo data on, you know, embedded into the picture, which is really cool. Another really cool thing about it is it's completely turned off right now, but it boots up really fast. At that quick click of a button, turns off, boots up really quick, so you don't have to wait for a whole bunch of stuff to go on before the camera comes on. You just hit the button and then start taking pictures, or hit the button and then hit record, and it'll function for you. It does have replaceable batteries. It's not like a bunch of AAAs or anything. I bought a 4-pack on Amazon for next to nothing, and they seem to work great. So now I have the battery that came with it and then the 4-pack, so I got 5 fully charged batteries and a external charger for it. Bomber, no worries. I got plenty of battery. It'll get me through a long week of hunting in the mountains, and I can take pictures of everything I want if I have a couple of data cards to put in it. XP130 from Fuji, absolutely a wonderful gift for the hunter, new or old. Next up, we have the Olight i1R EOS. They make some pretty badass flashlights, but they contacted me. They sent me this one. They even engraved my name on it, which is really cool. And they wanted a review, but it's pretty simple. There's really no need to do a full-on review on it. I'll tell you, you can see how beat up it is. I haven't let this thing out of my sight since I got it about a month and a half ago, and it's pretty bomber. So it has 2 settings. You just rotate to turn it on, like the old mag lights. It comes on. Low is 5 lumens. High is 130 lumens. Real simple. It has this super high-speed LED in it. And then here's the bonus, is that it's rechargeable. It recharges with the same, like a cell phone charger port, the micro USB port. But I know that I don't burn it all the time. It's not my primary flashlight. But if I keep this little thing hooked on a necklace and I just have it, it's really great and handy just to have a little light. It weighs nothing, a couple of grams. It's about as intrusive in your kit as a .45 caliber round. The biggest complaint I would have is that, you know, you could potentially lose it. I put a really heavy clip on it, and I clip it on the zipper of my coat or on the zipper on the outside of my Hill People gear, and that's where it stays. That's where it's going to live. I think it's a really, really good piece of gear. Like I said, full disclosure, they sent it to me for free so I could do a review. There's not much more I can say about it. It's just a mini flashlight, but this is a really good one if this is the kind of thing that you carry. I used to carry those little push button ones that you squeeze between your fingers, and I got so sick of holding them in my teeth, or the buttons wouldn't work, or that little 2032 battery would die on it. This right here is an excellent solution to that problem, and it's a real flashlight, not a toy flashlight. So I don't know anybody that would be in the woods and potentially get stuck out after dark that wouldn't want to have one of these in their pocket. So one more thing about this Olight is they sent me a discount code. It's like $22.99 on Amazon, and they sent me a code so you can go to their website and pick it up for $16.99. Now if you got Amazon Prime and free shipping and everything, that might not really mean a discount or not, but they put it out there, so down in the notes I'll put a link to this on Amazon and also a link to this on Olight's website, and you can check out all the other cool products they have. If this little light is this bomber, I can't imagine how cool the other stuff is that they have, and hopefully they'll send me some more stuff so I can review it for you and show you what I think of it. They might have some garbage too, but if this is an indicator of the rest of their product line, then Olight is most definitely a company to go spend a little money at. The Olight i1R EOS. Check it out. So since we're on the topic of flashlights, that little light isn't quite going to do it. It's going to be enough to dig around in your gear, find your way in the dark, but it is not going to find lost or downed game. So enter Celestron. Yes, Celestron, the telescope people. Comes with a little flimsy case. Do what you want with that. Celestron Thermotorch 10. Pretty bomber light. It's got 3 modes. High is like crazy high. It's of course LED. I don't know if anybody makes a flashlight that's not LED anymore. And but this has got some secret weapons in it. And the first of which is a 2.1 amp and a 1 amp power outlets. So you can charge your cell phone, charge your camera, charge up your equipment, charge up your Olight, whatever you want to do. It's got 2 ports on it. You can charge 2 items at the same time, and it's also got a charging port so you can plug this into the wall and recharge it. No more lost batteries, you know, good for the environment, recycle all that garbage. Bottom line is this thing's killer, and when you push the button, it'll tell you how much charge is left on it by 4 little lights there, you know, 100%, 75, 50, a quarter. So it'll tell you how much charge you have, because it shares the battery, which is 10,000 milliamps, 10,000 mAh. That's the rating on this battery pack that's in here. But it's got 3-mode flashlight, the charging bank, and also if you hold this button down until it turns blue, and what that does is it activates a hand warmer. The hand warmer is supposed to go for like 8 hours continuous or something absurd like that. I mean, it's crazy. I have used it. I've used it after I gutted an animal, and then your hands are ice cold because it's winter and snowy, and then you just pick up your little flashlight that you have pre-warmed, and you warm your hands back up, put it back in your pocket, and then go back to work. It's a really good piece of gear to have because it has multiple functions. Like even if you don't need the light, you can still, it's still 10,000 milliamps. You can still charge your cell phone, your camera, other lights, whatever you need to charge. Your GPS, if you have that kind of GPS. It's super heavy duty, bomber construction, aircraft grade aluminum, water resistant, dirt, you know, dust, shock proof, all that garbage. This is the Celestron Thermotorch 10 3-in-1 flashlight. I'll put a link down below. Great piece of kit. I highly recommend it. All right, next up, if you happen to be one of those hunters that's electronic dependent, and I am sometimes and sometimes I'm not, but one thing I always take, maybe it's not always in my pack, but it's always at camp, always, is the OutXE 20,000 milliamp dual charger system. It's a rapid charge. This thing actually charges my cell phone faster than the house plug. I think it's because the wall adapter I have is garbage, but this, when I plug my cell phone into this, it charges a lot faster than the house phone, which is really cool, or the wall plug. It's a pretty simple device. It's super rugged and heavy duty. I banged it up pretty good. I keep it around because I can charge my camera batteries, I can charge all kinds of stuff on it. I can keep my cell phone going in excess of a week with this for a long camp. It has a port on one side so you can put 2 wall plug chargers into it at the same time, and I think it takes about 7 or 8 hours for it to get a full charge. And once it's got a full charge, it holds it forever, it seems like. And then on the end you have the 2 ports So you can charge your devices, and it comes with 2 cords too. One that's like a micro USB and one that's like a Type-C. I think that's the iPhone 1 or something. I'm not sure. It also has a flashlight on it, and it has 2 modes on the flashlight, a high and a low, and then it has a flashing SOS. 20,000 milliamps. 20,000 milliamp hours. So this thing right here will go for a long, long time. If you were to park this with the strobe pointing straight up, you probably got a good week or more of that thing signaling to aircraft that you need help. Somebody's bound to figure it out at that point. It also has a, they can hype it up how cool this solar charger is, but it's just a little solar charger. This kind of a panel is not going to gather a lot of light, but you do know it's charging because if you see that red light means the solar panel is taking a charge. So if I put it against my chest, the light goes out because I blocked the panel, and as soon as it starts to get light, that red light comes back on and says that it's now charging the solar panel. So if you just leave this out, whenever you're not using it, it'll constantly maintain that charge, and that's better than nothing in the backcountry, especially if you've just charged your cell phone or charged up a camera or something. When you leave camp to go hunt, just throw this out on a rock where it's going to get some sunlight. It can get rained on. That's not a problem. It can fall off the rock. It's still not a problem, and unless it's completely face down in the dirt, it's still going to get a charge. If you keep going like that through the course of a long week or 2 hunting, this thing is probably going to maintain enough charge to keep all of your electronics going the whole time that you're out. But it is rugged. It is kind of heavy. I didn't weigh it. I don't know what it weighs. I'm sure that data's on their website. And they sell different models. They have some lighter models and some smaller models and some less charge. But if you're going to go big or go home, right? 20,000 milliamps for a couple of, for maybe 1.5 pounds, I'm down. I don't remember. I bought this off of Amazon. I think I paid about $50 for it. I'm not exactly sure. But again, I'll leave you a link. If you want to pick one up, by all means, go for it. Yeah, they didn't send it to me. I haven't talked to them. I don't know if they're a cool company. I assume they're in China. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. I just know that I saw this on someone else's channel. They had recommended it, and I went ahead and bought one because I thought, well, that sounds useful. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad I did, because flashlight, emergency light, solar panel, and a wicked ass charger. So out XE. All right, so next up is probably something you wouldn't expect me to show you, but I'm gonna anyway, and I'll explain why. This is the survival credit card from Survival Hacks. And they contacted me, they're like, hey, would you like to review this? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's not really my style, but I decided that I would for the simple fact that I carry one. Not this one, I carry a different one, but I figured if I carry one anyway, why wouldn't I review it and see if this is any better than the one I have? Now, it came with this little whistle. Whistle is garbage. Yeah, I don't know that you're gonna get much volume out of that. You'd do better to carry a different whistle, but it came with it, so I just hung it there. My dog hates it, so at least I can whistle my dog back. He'll hear it. It has, the standard things: bottle opener, can opener, whatever, little screwdriver, compass, magnifying glass, goofy little knife with some wrenches in it, and that's not a gut hook. That's not for skinning deer and squirrels. It's a line cutter. So I don't know if it'll cut 550, but it's meant for like fishing line and things like that. Little half serrated blade and a little fire steel. It's got little rulers imprinted on the sides of it. It has just a little tiny diamond knife sharpener, which is kind of neat. And then it's got your standard toothpick and tweezers. That's it. That's the whole kit. But I'll show you what I've been carrying. These are some of the other options that I've had. This is one from Tool Logic, and it has a built-in whistle on it. Much better whistle. Maybe they should incorporate that into this thing. And then it has a little flashlight, which works about half the time. And it had a fire steel embedded in here, but it broke out. No big deal. And it had a decent little knife tool. I don't carry this in my pocket or in my wallet. I carry this in my first aid kit. I got the tweezers, I got the little toothpick, I can pick splinters, I can do those sort of things. The knife and everything's pretty handy, but that's where I keep it, is in my first aid kit. And the reason I do is because there's almost absolutely no consequence for carrying it. And if you need the little tool right there handy, then it's right there in your kit. One of the older ones I had before I had this one is I had this other Tool Logic one that has essentially the same stuff in the same configuration. It's got toothpick and tweezers, that little bottle opener tool, a goofy little knife that I actually ground the serrations out of. It used to have a compass, but it broke out, and then a little magnifying glass. A magnifying glass isn't good for very much unless you're really trying to just inspect a splinter or something like that. I suppose you could probably start a fire with it, but why would you bother if you have a fire steel or other tools? My point is, this is not an all-in-one survival tool. Oh yeah, this is another one that I used to keep in my first aid kit. It's one of them little, you know, a little thing you like answer their email and they send you a freebie. You know, that little thing. So of course they're junk. You're not gonna go out and survive in Alaska on a credit card tool. But they're really, really nice to just keep in your first aid kit and just have a couple of tools with you. And the addition of a fire steel, a good one that's not glued to the side of it, is really, really cool. It's not a be-all, end-all survival tool, but for 15 bucks or whatever, you know, the consequence is minimal. You can throw it in your kit, you can keep it in your shirt pocket, you have it in case you need it. It's always handy to, you know, if you have to strike up a little fire or you have to cut off a bandage or something like that, then you got something like this and you're not pulling out your big knives and trying to get all crazy with it. So you can find this online in Amazon, and you can find it on Survival Hacks website. They sent me a discount code. I'll put it down below just like I did with the other one. I'll also leave the Amazon link, and I'll tell you this right now, you can follow their code or not, but it's cheaper on Amazon. It's cheaper without their discount, but I'll put it down there anyway because they gave it to me. So there you go, Survival Hacks, survival credit card, 15-20 bucks. You know, good for the hunter, for the first aid kit, as a backup, last resort. Who knows? You know, you need a primary, an alternate, and a tertiary plan. This is something beyond tertiary. Now this next tool is something that I've carried for years and years, ever since they came out with it, and I don't even know how long ago it was. I could probably use about 10 of them. I'd put them in all of my gear, and then I wouldn't have to change places all the time. As it is now, this always goes from pack to pack to pack. Anytime I go out, anytime I go anywhere, this piece of gear is with me. I paid for it. I bought it on Amazon. It's mine. Nobody gave it to me to review or anything else, but if they want to send me some, I'll be more than happy to take them. Like I said, I could use about 10 of them spread evenly throughout my gear. This is the WorkSharp Guided Field Sharpener. Absolutely awesome tool. I mean, I can sharpen a knife. I can make my knives razor sharp, polished up, everything else. That's great. But when you're skinning an elk and you only have 1 or 2 knives with you, they get dull. You know, you nick a bone here, cutting through hair there, they just get dull, and it's always nice to be able to slap a quick sharpen on it. Now they have these diamond sharpeners on the plates. There's a coarse and a fine. Each one can be flipped over and put back in. They're held in place with a magnet. So that also leaves you a little bit of storage space inside. If you want to cram a fire steel or some tinder or something in there, you can definitely do that. I generally put some stropping compound in mine. Just a little piece of flex cut stropping compound. So those clip on there, and it's got a 20-degree bevel. So that's what most of your factory knives come with. It's preset in there on both sides. It also has a ceramic rod, and the ceramic rod has 3 positions. It's got fine, coarse, and then it's got a slotted position with some deep slots that are for sharpening fish hooks and needles and things of that nature. And then it has another ceramic rod back here, a little small one, and that's there so you can sharpen the serrations if you happen to have a serrated knife like on your survival card. Last thing it's got is a leather strop embedded in it. Put a little stropping compound on it, give your knife a nice clean strop after you sharpen it, and it is razor sharp. The last thing that it has, which is kind of a neat little feature, I'm glad they included it, but it's got an arrow wrench, and it's got both triangle and square tip, 3-blade and 4-blade. So you can tighten the arrowhead onto the shaft, and you can take the little tip out of the arrowhead if you need to change a blade, because sometimes those things get really stuck. So it's got an arrowhead wrench for both of those types of arrowheads. So if you're an archery shooter or an archery hunter, man, this is double duty. You can chuck your arrowhead wrench, throw one of these in your pack. Now you can sharpen your blades, sharpen your knives, maintain your broadheads. That one right there, without fail, one of the best pieces of gear in my kit. I love it. I have it all the time. Won't leave home without it. And that is the WorkSharp Guided Field Sharpener. A little under 30 bucks, about 28 and some change. For novice users and without any specialized equipment or anything cool, you just can't go wrong with it. It's really, really good. So, WorkSharp. We went through a pretty good little amount of gear there. This next one, Again, full disclosure, I designed it. I think that it's a great gift for the hunter or someone who's going to be out in the country, in the backcountry for a long period of time. I have, like I said, with the Work Sharp, I could use about 10 of them spread throughout my gear. I do have about 10 of these, and this one here is brand new because I just tore it out of the package to put it in my Hill People gear so it can live there. And each one of my packs and each one of my field kits all have one that lives in them, so it's always got the same kit with it. Now, that is the Snap Kit from Tops Knives, or the Survival Needs and Preparedness Kit. This is one I invented, or I developed the knife. It's a very interesting little blade. Kind of holds like that for a skinner. You can do some chopping with it. You can do some defending with it. You can lash it to a stick. You can do all kind of cool stuff. You know, there's enough write-ups and reviews and stuff on it. I'm not going to go too crazy into it, but this is what I designed in my shop. And Tops Knives now manufactures this, the Snap tool, and comes with Tops whistle, which is okay. The rubber band strap, which is good for starting fires and stuff, but it's got a pretty heavy duty little button compass. This one's actually a good compass. It actually works well. Some flagging tape, why not, for hunting, right? Also, if you happen to wander out of camp, or if you get lost or isolated, as soon as you figure out you're lost, you can start flagging your route with this flagging tape, so they can at least follow it to you. It's got a nice little fire steel. It's pretty stout for one of these little kits. Works great. It's got a little cotton pad. You can use that for, I guess you could use it as a bandage, but you can also char it inside the tin to make some char cloth to make your next fire easier. Little tiny fishing kit. There's no sinkers, but there's a couple of hooks and some monofilament line. A little dog tag shaped signal mirror. Some bank line. It's got a Fresnel lens in the bottom of it, a couple of safety pins, sail needles, and a can opener. So basically what the kit covers is it covers fire, shelter, food, signaling, not really first aid, and not water. So if you were to throw a couple of Band-Aids in here and some water purification tablets, then you would be set and you would cover your survival needs. So it just goes together like that in a little Altoid-like tin, and it has the full contents on the back. And that's what it's for. It's for the hunter or something. If you're leaving camp, even if you're just going out to collect firewood, there's no consequence to dropping this in your pocket. And then if you do get turned around, lost, or whatever, then you at least have enough stuff to make a shelter and make a fire and get through the night until you can find your way back to camp or whatever. It's just a really good backup. As a military SERE instructor, we would always teach that you would keep one set of gear, or one set of survival gear on your body, then one on your gear, and then one in your pack. That way you have 3 layers, and you use the pack first, and then your deuce gear, and then your body. So you would always have something small, a little survival kit, on your body or on your person. So if you got to bust out of a hide or bust out into the woods and break contact, at least you have something to make your way back to friendly lines with. So that's why I developed the kit. That's what it is. It's the Tops Snap Kit. It's about 69 bucks, I think. I think there's a couple on my website at survivalhardwarellc.com, but you can also get them on Amazon. But here's the thing, if you want one, get it, because they go quick. Whenever somebody has them in stock, they disappear really fast. So don't wait around and try and decide on it. They really do go quick. It's a good little kit to keep in your pocket. Just in case you're interested, Hedgehog Leather Works, who I'm not affiliated with, but they make a really, really nice leather belt pouch that fits that tin. It's designed for the little Altoid tin kit that people like to carry. They make a really nice one. It's bomber. It clips on your belt really hard and heavy, and it fits that kit perfectly. And it's a great way to actually transport this kit. Snap tool from Tops Knives, designed by me. So this next one, really, really good piece of kit. Again, I've been carrying it around for years. It is the Garmin eTrex 20X. I bought the 20X because I didn't need the 30. It has some other features that really don't matter, but they have the 10, the 20, and the 30. Buy what you think is suitable for you. It's a great little GPS. It has some wicked connectivity, and if you read their website, they talk about WAS and all these little weird systems and whatever that connect. But what I will tell you is I've never lost connectivity, even down in the valleys and traveling next to the streams and going up and over mountains. Anytime I've ever looked at it, it's always been connected, and that's what's important to me. It's a small little package. It's a Garmin, so there's like buku attachments and aftermarket things that can go on it. It's got a 2.2-inch display. Not great, you know, you can see what you got to be doing. It has 3.7 gigabytes of internal storage, so you can store maps and data and waypoints and routes and geocaches and whatever you're into. It's got a whole bunch of different modes just for driving and that kind of stuff. It has a worldwide base map. The base map's kind of shitty, but at least it's in there and it's worldwide, so at least if you go to Spain or something, you can find your way back into the city. Backcountry stuff, to find a road here or a trail there or something, they're all in there. Like I said, this is about $150, but I would say get about $100 and buy a good hunting map for your location. I happen to use OnX Maps. I think OnX Maps are great. I love the borders. With this little app, you know, I can know if I'm getting close to somebody's boundary and I can contact them, or I can contact the game warden, or I can make some other contact so I can retrieve my game in an ethical way legally. I just don't know that there's any other way to do it legally anymore. Even in the middle of the mountains, there's one little tiny spot of property that belongs to some private person. But at least this, if you get OnX, then the borders are all pretty accurate, and you'll know if you're tiptoeing into someone else's territory. That's a good thing to know. It's a great name. We all know and trust it. It's super rugged. You can download the Garmin software and you can connect this directly into your computer. It comes with a cable. Connect it into your computer and you can do all kind of cool Garmin mapping stuff with it. Download geocaches and that kind of stuff. It's really accurate. It has underneath the battery compartment. Underneath the batteries there's a little fold-out piece that holds the SD card, and when you order OnX Maps it comes on an SD card and you just slide it right in that little slot and it boots up. Most of the controls are pretty intuitive. If you just get it and goof around with it for a while and just click through and click buttons and whatnot, then you'll figure out how to use it pretty quickly for what you need it for, and then from there you can just learn the other things as you need them. What kind of GPS do you use? Use a Garmin? Do you not use a GPS or anything else? Let me know. Let me know what kind of GPS or navigation device you use. This is a real quick and simple and easy way to get back. Survival is not for stupid people who want to test their skills. You may not think you need a GPS. I certainly don't need it. When you're compromised mentally and physically, there's just no substitute for having a good GPS. You plug in your waypoint and you just follow the arrow. All right, the last item I have for you is something that's special to me. I helped develop it again. They are only available through us, and that is the Leatherbound Field Journal. This is our own design of the Thor's Hammer Field Journal. You see the Thor's Hammer design on it. It is a snap closure, 2 pockets. You can put index cards in one, put your little field book in one, fold over type design. This strap is just a keeper. You can slide that out, and there's a hidden pocket here where you can keep pencils and pens or business cards, cash, ID cards, your hunting license, anything you want to. It goes inside there. With this strap, you can take it out of the keeper, but that keeper there, the reason it's there is you slide this out and you can put it through your pack strap and snap it on. If it comes unsnapped, then it'll still hang there because that keeper is right there. You can put it on your belt and wear it like that. We make these, and we make bigger ones, little wallets that are the same shape. They hold a couple of credit cards and they have a little stash pocket for cash or a car key or something like that in them. Really cool pieces of gear. So yeah, if you contact us and you tell us what kind of leather and all the little features that you want on it, what size book you want in it, that kind of thing, then we can kind of price everything out and figure out what it's going to cost us to make it, and then give you a little quote on it, and then build it for you. So it's a really, really cool gift for the outdoorsman. Like I carry mine all the time. I keep things in it like field sketches of stand locations and animal trails and things like that I've seen. I also keep just general notes about this and that. Some of my production notes are in here, gear lists, things I need to buy. It's just a really cool, handy, kind of a classy way to go instead of just having some nylon notebook. Yes, it's a little heavier than a nylon one, but sometimes you just gotta have a little old world style and old world class, and that's just what that is. So I hope you enjoyed that. The 10 good items that any hunter would really, really enjoy having in their bag. Not really specific to hunting season, but just outdoor life in general. Those are kind of my go-tos and things that I always kind of have with me when I'm in the field. I thought maybe I'd share that with you. If you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Click that notifications bell so you get notified when I have new uploads. Thank you once again for watching. Good luck this hunting season, and I will see you on the next one.